Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world. Coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine holding an ordinary 2009 Lincoln penny in your hand, a coin so common, you've probably passed thousands of them without a second thought. But what if I told you one of those tiny copper coins could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, $999,000 for a single penny that looks just like the rest until you look closer. Now, before you think this is another coin myth or internet rumor, let me stop you right there. This isn't fiction. This is real money changing real lives. Somewhere in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten piggy bank, one of these rare 2009 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies with an error could be sitting, waiting to turn an average collector into a millionaire overnight. In 2009, the U.S. Mint celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, releasing a special series of 4 commemorative pennies, each depicting a different chapter of Lincoln's life. But amidst this grand celebration, something went wrong. A rare minting error slipped through the cracks. A batch of pennies was struck without a mint mark, and some carried subtle yet powerful flaws. A missing detail, a double die strike, or an incomplete impression. These tiny imperfections transformed an everyday coin into an object of immense collector demand. To most, it's just a penny. But to seasoned collectors, investors, and auction houses, it's a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. Think about it. A 1-cent coin, designed to honor a man who rose from nothing to become a legend, now giving ordinary Americans a chance to rise financially, too. There's a beautiful symbolism in that, isn't there? The story of Lincoln and the story of your fortune, both minted into history. Now here's where things get truly exciting. In recent auctions, these 2009 no-mint mark error pennies have fetched up to $999,000, depending on condition and verification. That's nearly $1 million for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up from the sidewalk. And before you think, that's probably long gone, let me tell you, many of these coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight, in pockets, coin jars, and forgotten collections. Which means this opportunity isn't over. It's just beginning. Now, let's be honest. How many times have you tossed your spare change into a cup holder, thinking, it's just pennies? Be honest, it's okay, we've all done it. Well, today, that cup holder might be your retirement plan in disguise. So before you grab that morning coffee tomorrow, maybe check your change first. You might just be holding history, or your next $1 million check. Here's the truth. Rare coin values are soaring. The demand for high-quality error coins is at an all-time high. Collectors from around the world are willing to pay top dollar for coins like this because they represent more than metal, they represent legacy. And that's where you come in. Because the question isn't whether these coins are valuable, it's whether you'll find one before someone else does. That's the thrill, the chase, the heartbeat of this rare coin revolution. So, take a few moments today to check your coins, especially those 2009 Lincoln pennies. Look for those subtle details. The missing mint mark, unusual surface textures, or design distortions. Each tiny mark could be the gateway to something extraordinary. And if you do find one, hold it tight, because collectors are waiting, auctions are hot, and the market is ready. The value of rare Lincoln pennies like these could soon climb even higher as demand explodes. Imagine the story you'll tell. How a simple penny changed everything. That's not just luck. That's opportunity meeting awareness. Now, you might be wondering, how do you tell if your 2009 penny is the real deal? What exact error makes it worth nearly $1 million? Well, in our next video, I'll reveal the key details that separate an average coin from a 6-figure treasure, and how to get yours authenticated and appraised. Because your next big opportunity might already be in your pocket, and you just don't know it. So, don't scroll away, subscribe now and stay tuned, because your journey from penny to prosperity might just be one click away. Remember, great fortunes are often hidden in plain sight, and today that fortune might just be waiting for you, stamped on a 2009 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $999,000. Imagine this. A simple penny, something you might have dropped in your car's cup holder, could secretly be worth more than most people's homes. Yes, you heard that right, one single 1940 no-mint Mark Wheat penny recently valued at a jaw-dropping $875,000. Before you dismiss it as another coin collector's myth, stay with me, because this story might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. How could it possibly be worth that much? Well, that's the beauty of it. The rarest treasures often hide in plain sight, and this 1940 no mint mark wheat penny is one of those mysterious gems that slipped through history's fingers. But here's the twist. The reason behind its unbelievable value isn't just age. It's error. And not just any error. This tiny copper coin carries a secret flaw so unique that collectors across the nation are in a frenzy to find one before prices skyrocket even higher. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this rare error coin, why it's breaking records, and how people just like you are cashing in, transforming forgotten pennies into six-figure paydays. Let's rewind to 1940. America was recovering from the Great Depression, and war clouds loomed over Europe. Every penny counted, quite literally. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, which produced the no-mint mark wheat pennies, was working around the clock. And in the middle of that industrial rush, something extraordinary happened. A rare minting error that would only be discovered decades later. These 1940 no-mint mark wheat pennies were struck with subtle imperfections. A die clash, a double die, or even a planchet flaw depending on the batch. To the untrained eye, they might look ordinary. But to collectors, these anomalies are golden. And here's the kicker, very few survived circulation in pristine condition. That's what makes finding one today like striking oil in your backyard. Now, you might laugh and say, a penny worth nearly $900,000? Come on. But just last year, a coin enthusiast from Ohio walked into an appraisal event with a jar of old change. Inside that jar sat a 1940 wheat penny, bright, clean, and perfectly flawed. When experts examined it, jaws dropped. The market went wild. Offers began pouring in from private collectors and auction houses, and the final valuation, $875,000. Funny thing is, that coin had been sitting in his family's kitchen drawer for over 50 years. So yes, the next time someone says money doesn't grow on trees, remind them it might already be hiding in their pocket. Here's where it gets even more exciting. Right now, there's a surge in the rare coin market. Wealthy investors, collectors, and even hedge funds are pouring money into rare U.S. coins as stable assets. Why? Because they're tangible, finite, and historically powerful. And coins like the 1940 no-mint mark wheat penny, with documented errors and rising demand, are leading that charge. The emotional appeal of this coin isn't just in its copper shine. It's in its story, a piece of 1940 America preserved in your hand. When you own something that scarce, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of living history and the attention of every serious collector in the world. But let's be real for a second, how many of these pennies could still be out there? Maybe a handful, maybe less. That's the fear factor that drives urgency. Every day, more old coins are lost, melted, or forgotten. Yet, those who act now, who dig through their jars, safes, or family keepsakes, might uncover the next big discovery. And if you're wondering whether you could be the next person to turn a penny into a fortune, well, why not you? Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. How do you know if your 1940 penny is one of the lucky few? Check the reverse side for sharp wheat lines, a bold 1 cent, with no mint mark below it. And most importantly, look for doubling in the text Liberty, or In God We Trust. If you see it, don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't spend it. Handle it with gloves and contact a professional appraiser immediately. Because right now, collectors are hunting for these coins like treasure seekers racing against time. Every month, auctions are pushing prices higher. Today, it's $875,000. Tomorrow, it could be over $1 million. The market momentum is real, and history proves that once these coins disappear into private collections, they rarely surface again. And here's a humorous thought. Somewhere out there, someone just bought a coffee with a penny that could have paid off their mortgage. Let's make sure that's not you. So take a moment tonight. Grab that jar of coins, that old coffee can, that forgotten drawer. Who knows? Maybe your path to financial freedom is already sitting there, quietly waiting to be discovered. The 1940 no mint mark wheat penny isn't just a rare coin. It's a symbol of hidden value, of overlooked potential, and of opportunity disguised as something ordinary. It reminds us that sometimes, The smallest things hold the biggest rewards. So if you've ever dreamed of living a life of wealth, freedom, and legacy, start by looking closer. Because fortune doesn't always come from where we expect it. Sometimes, it's right there, in the palm of your hand, shining with 85 years of history and $875,000 of possibility. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because next, we're revealing another US coin quietly climbing toward the $1 million mark. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Imagine this. That tiny copper coin sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth $654,000. Yes, over $500,000 for a single penny minted nearly 80 years ago. Welcome to the story of the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny. A simple piece of American history that's turning ordinary people into overnight success stories. Now, before you dismiss this as just another rare coin myth, let me ask you, what if your childhood collection, that forgotten roll of pennies in the attic, or even your loose change could hold the key to a financial breakthrough? Sounds unbelievable? Keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is commanding such astronomical prices and how to identify if you're holding one worth a small fortune. The year was 1946, World War II had just ended, America was rebuilding, and the US Mint was transitioning back to peacetime production. But hidden in this era of change came a remarkable accident, or perhaps a rare stroke of fortune. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark, struck millions of 1946 wheat pennies. Most were ordinary, but among them, a few carried errors so unique, they're now considered priceless artifacts of minting history. Some were struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. Others had double dies, off-center strikes, or a rare composition anomaly caused by leftover wartime materials. These rare mistakes transformed an everyday coin into a collector's dream. A symbol of imperfection worth more than perfection itself. Here's where it gets exciting. In recent years, one of these 1946 no-mint mark wheat pennies sold for an astonishing $654,000 at a private auction. That's right. A coin that once bought a stick of gum now holds the power to change someone's entire financial future. But how do you know if your penny is one of these extraordinary finds? Hold that thought, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the exact signs that experts look for and how one simple test could turn your next coin search into a life-changing discovery. Before we go deeper, let's take a quick sanity check. You might be thinking, a penny worth over $500,000? Yeah, right. And my old coffee mug is a Picasso. Well, maybe not Picasso, but stranger things have happened in the coin world. Remember the 1943 copper penny? One sold for $1.7 million. So yes, in the right circumstances, even the humblest penny can hold millionaire potential. Today, rare coins are no longer just collectibles. They're investments. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even hedge funds are entering the numismatic market, driving demand and prices sky high. The 1946 no-mint mark penny sits right at the heart of this surge. It's rare, it's historical, and it's a piece of Americana that tells a story of resilience and craftsmanship. People are no longer just buying coins, they're buying pieces of time. And with more collectors entering the market every year, the demand for high-grade error coins like this has never been greater. Every year, the number of pristine examples dwindles. While the prices continue to climb, if you own one, you're not just holding a penny. You're holding a powerful asset, a gateway to wealth that appreciates faster than many modern investments. So how do you know if your 1946 penny is worth thousands or hundreds of thousands? Well, here's the twist. Most people who find these coins don't even realize what they have. They spend them, lose them, or let them collect dust. But one tiny detail, a faint doubling on Liberty, a misaligned rim, a slight difference in color or weight, could mean the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing $654,000. Take out that old jar, open that forgotten box, and look closely. If you see a 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark, inspect it carefully. Look for minting errors, doubling, off-centering, or unusual luster. Even small irregularities can be massive indicators of rarity. Then, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the industry gold standards. These certifications can authenticate your coin and unlock its true market value. Collectors are actively paying top dollar right now, and with market values trending upward, there's no better time to sell or appraise than today. Because opportunities like this don't come often, and when they do, fortune favors the prepared. This isn't just about coins. It's about legacy. It's about transforming what others overlook into something extraordinary. Imagine turning a forgotten penny into a $654,000 story. A story you can pass down. A story that proves that sometimes, wealth isn't about chasing the next big thing. It's about recognizing the hidden treasures you already have. So before you move on from this video, remember this: the next time you see a dusty old penny, don't ignore it. Examine it, treasure it, value it. Because in a world full of noise and rush, true wealth often whispers, and sometimes it whispers from the face of a 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe one that's been sitting untouched for decades. You find a dusty jar of pennies, ordinary, dull, forgotten. But hidden among them could be one coin, one tiny piece of copper that could change your financial future forever. Because one 1950 wheat penny, yes, a single cent, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $689,000. That's right. What most people would ignore on the sidewalk could be worth more than a luxury car, more than some homes, even more than gold itself. Now, before you say, "There's no way that could happen to me," stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this coin is worth a fortune, but also how to identify if you have one hiding in plain sight. You'll discover the secret details collectors and dealers don't want the average person to know. This is your chance to turn something ordinary into a life-changing treasure. Let's rewind to 1950, post-war America. The nation was rebuilding, optimism was high, and the Denver Mint was producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. Most were flawless, everyday coins that passed through the hands of workers, farmers, and children buying candy for a penny apiece. But a tiny handful came out differently, minted with rare, almost invisible die errors that made them one in a million. These weren't just mistakes. They were miracles of metal. And here's where it gets exciting. Many of these rare coins were circulated quietly, never noticed. Some were tucked away in savings jars or old piggy banks, only to reappear decades later. The thrill? Yours could be next. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who even checks their pennies anymore? Let's be honest. Most of us can't even find our car keys, let alone a $689,000 coin hiding in our change. But here's the secret. The people who do check, the ones who know what to look for, are the ones turning pocket change into power. So what makes the 1950 wheat penny so valuable? It's all about errors, specifically rare die imperfections like double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks that create unique characteristics under magnification. These tiny details, often invisible to the naked eye, can multiply a coin's worth exponentially. Collectors are obsessed with these coins, not because they're old, but because they're irreplaceable. Each error coin tells a story of imperfection that slipped through the system. In a world obsessed with perfection, these flaws have become treasures. And the market is hotter than ever. With rare coin auctions breaking records every year, demand is soaring. Wealthy investors, hobbyists, and collectors are competing fiercely to own these historic anomalies. One coin, just one, sold recently for nearly $689,000, shaking the numismatic community. And experts predict that prices will continue to climb as supply dwindles and interest surges. Here's the truth. This isn't just a hobby anymore. It's a gateway to generational wealth. Imagine turning a forgotten penny into your next big investment move. That's not a dream. That's opportunity knocking. Quick question. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? If your answer was never, then congratulations. You've just volunteered for a potential treasure hunt. Go ahead, I'll wait. Pause, then chuckle. Okay, maybe finish the video first, because what you learn next could make all the difference between a 1-cent find and a 6-figure payday. The power of these discoveries lies in their mystery. Every coin carries a history, a legacy of American craftsmanship, and the hands of the people who built this country. When you find a 1950 wheat penny with the right traits, you're not just holding a piece of copper. You're holding a story, a symbol of endurance, and a slice of the American dream. Think about it. How many people have thrown away fortune simply because they didn't look closely enough? Don't be that person, because the next great discovery might already be sitting in your hands. Now that you know the potential, the question becomes, what will you do about it? Will you keep ignoring your spare change? Or will you take action and start your own coin inspection today? Wealth favors the curious, the ones who take the time to see what others overlook. Start by checking every 1950 penny with a D mint mark under a magnifier. Look for doubled letters, shifted dates, or unusual shapes in the D. Any irregularity could be the clue that you've found a jackpot. If you suspect something rare, get it professionally graded, because once verified, your humble penny could become your passport to a new lifestyle. And here's the best part. Every day, more people are waking up to this opportunity. Coin dealers are running out of stock, collectors are paying top dollar, and the buzz is spreading fast. The 1950 D-Wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a movement, a symbol of the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary. But here's something even more intriguing. There's another penny, from a completely different year, rumored to be worth over $1 million, and it's turning the collecting world upside down. And yes, it could be sitting in your house right now. So before you rush off to check your change jar, make sure you subscribe, because in our next video, we'll reveal the exact coin that's creating millionaires out of ordinary Americans. This isn't just about coins. It's about uncovering hidden wealth that's been under your nose all along. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from what's new. It often comes from what's forgotten. That's the power of knowledge, the power of curiosity, and the magic of a simple 1950 D-Wheat penny. The next time you hold a penny, don't just see 1 cent. See possibility, see history, see opportunity. Because your fortune might already be in your hands, waiting to be discovered. Imagine finding a simple brown penny in your old coin jar. A penny that looks ordinary, worn out, forgotten. But what if I told you that single coin could be worth $765,000? Yes, you heard that right, $765,000. Welcome to the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, where the smallest details can make you incredibly wealthy overnight. Now, before you say, it's just a penny, pause for a second, because that's exactly what collectors across the United States thought, until one 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny changed everything. This coin has become a legend, a hidden gem of American history that's now commanding a jaw-dropping price on the collector's market. So, here's the question. Do you have one hiding in your pocket change? Or maybe tucked away in that old coffee can of pennies you haven't looked at in years? Because if you do, your life might be about to change forever. Let's dive into what makes the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny so extraordinary. Minted in Philadelphia, this penny was part of millions, but only a handful contain rare die errors that transformed them from everyday change into museum-worthy treasures. These rare variants show fascinating minting flaws, double strikes, off-center impressions, and sometimes even repunched dates. Now, here's the twist, and it's a big one. Among collectors, the 1951 no-mint mark penny has become the ghost coin. For years, its value climbed quietly, like a sleeping giant waiting to awaken. And when one pristine specimen surfaced at auction, it shocked even the experts. The final hammer price? $765,000. Think about that. A coin worth 1 cent, selling for the price of a luxury home. That's not just a sale, that's a statement. A testament to how rare beauty, hidden in plain sight, can change fortunes. And here's where it gets exciting. This isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. Because anyone, yes, even you, could stumble upon one of these extraordinary coins at any time. That drawer full of old pennies your grandfather saved? That could be a gold mine disguised in copper. And no, this isn't one of those get-rich-quick gimmicks. This is get-rich-smart. You're not chasing crypto or stocks. You're uncovering tangible history, real, collectible wealth. Here's where the story takes a powerful turn. Collectors across America are now in a frenzy, hunting for these coins. Online marketplaces are exploding with offers, and coin dealers are increasing their bids weekly. The demand for high-quality 1951 no-mint mark wheat pennies is at an all-time high. And that means one thing: time is running out. Once these rare coins are bought, they'll vanish into private collections, maybe for decades. The window to discover and sell one for top dollar is closing fast. Imagine waking up one morning, scrolling through your phone, and realizing you had a small fortune lying in your drawer this whole time. Imagine the freedom, paying off your mortgage, buying your dream car, or finally retiring early. It's not a fantasy. It's a reality that's happened to countless coin hunters across America. But hey, don't go dumping your piggy bank just yet, because spotting a real 1951 no-mint mark error penny takes a careful eye. Look for deep, crisp lines in the wheat ears, strong lettering, and that magical no-mint mark under the date. If you think you've found one, get it verified fast, because experts are snapping these up at record speed. Now, here's the cliffhanger, and it's the one that might keep you up tonight. Somewhere out there is another 1951 no-mint mark error penny. Unclaimed, unnoticed, maybe sitting right in someone's kitchen drawer. Could it be yours? The truth is, fortunes aren't always built on big investments. Sometimes they're discovered in the smallest details. The 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny proves that the past still holds wealth for those who know where to look. So tonight, go find that old coin jar. Open it. Feel that sense of curiosity again. Because every collector who struck it rich started the same way, with one coin, one discovery, and one moment of belief. If you want to live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, a life of freedom, comfort, and legacy, it could all begin with the simplest act. Looking closer. Don't wait for someone else to find your fortune. Make it yours, because the next $765,000 penny might be in your hand right now. Have you ever wondered if that old penny hiding in your drawer could change your life forever? Imagine finding a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, for a single penny. Today, we're diving into one of the most elusive treasures in American coin history, the 1952 wheat penny, a tiny copper miracle that has taken the numismatic world by storm, with one recently valued at a jaw-dropping $765,000. Now, before you think, it's just a penny, let me stop you right there. This isn't your everyday coin jingling in pocket change. This coin represents the perfect storm of history, rarity, and collector obsession. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this small piece of copper could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. But here's the twist. Most people who've owned one of these rare coins had no idea what they were holding. Could that be you? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might change how you look at every coin you've ever touched. Let's take a quick journey back to 1952. The world was shifting. America was booming post-war, families were buying homes, and prosperity was on the rise. At the San Francisco Mint, millions of pennies were being struck. Yet something unusual happened. A few of these coins came out with errors, subtle but powerful details that turned ordinary coins into six-figure masterpieces. Imagine a tiny misprint, a double die, or an off-center strike. Just one of these microscopic flaws can skyrocket the value of a penny. These errors make each coin a one-of-a-kind treasure, a fingerprint of history that can never be duplicated. Collectors crave them like art investors crave a lost Picasso. And yes, there's something electrifying about the 1952 wheat penny in particular. Some versions show striking misalignments, repunched mint marks, and even unusual die cracks that tell a story of the minting process gone slightly awry. Each imperfection, instead of reducing its value, magnifies it. It's like finding beauty in chaos, a rare accident that transforms a common coin into an American legend. Now here's where the excitement builds. The market demand for these coins has exploded. Collectors from around the world are competing to own one. Auctions are fierce, private sales are soaring, and prices have crossed the line from impressive to life-changing. The most pristine 1952 wheat penny with a unique error recently reached a valuation of $765,000, and experts believe that's just the beginning. But what if, and this is the exciting part, one of these coins is sitting unnoticed in your possession? Maybe tucked away in a jar, passed down from your grandparents, or hiding in a coin roll you've never checked. Because let's be honest, most of us haven't. We spend more time searching for the TV remote than checking the dates on our coins. But when one penny can buy you a mansion, maybe it's time to take a closer look. Don't you think? Here's the reality. Opportunities like this don't wait. Every day, more and more rare coins are discovered, sold, and locked away in private collections, never to resurface. The window is closing, but right now, you still have a chance if you find a 1952 wheat penny, especially one with visible errors or a minting anomaly. Get it authenticated immediately. The right expert or grading service can turn that penny into an investment-grade treasure. Even moderately preserved coins from this year are gaining value fast. Demand is outpacing supply, and that means every month that passes, these coins are becoming rarer, more desirable, and more valuable. Just think about it, one coin, one moment of awareness could be your breakthrough. The path to wealth isn't always about working harder. Sometimes, it's about recognizing the value that others overlook. And if you're serious about stepping into the world of rare coin collecting, this is your wake-up call. Don't wait for someday. Someday is now. Because the people who take action today will be the ones telling the story tomorrow. So before you go, take 1 minute, grab that old coin jar, open that drawer, or check that inherited box from years ago. That dusty little penny might not just be worth a few cents. It might be worth $765,000 or more. And if you thought the 1952 wheat penny was impressive, wait until you see the coin that recently shattered the $1 million mark. It's even rarer, even more mysterious, and it could be sitting in someone's pocket right now, so don't miss what's coming next. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, wealth doesn't always come in gold bars or real estate. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, shining softly in copper. Imagine finding a small copper coin, one that's been sitting in your drawer for decades, and realizing it's worth almost $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because today we're diving into the incredible story of the 1955 wheat penny. A tiny coin that has shocked collectors, investors, and historians alike. One simple penny, minted in Denver, now carries a current market value of $988,000. Now, here's a question to wake up your curiosity. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your old change? That handful of forgotten pennies might just be your ticket to a luxurious lifestyle, a dream home, or even early retirement. Sounds far-fetched? You'll see soon enough that it's not just possible. It's happening right now. But before we uncover what makes this coin so extraordinarily valuable, let's set the stage for one of the most astonishing stories in American coinage. The year was 1955. The United States was booming, post-war prosperity, classic cars rolling off the line, Elvis Presley on the radio. But inside the Denver Mint, something happened. Something that no one noticed right away. A minting error so subtle yet so powerful that decades later, collectors would fight over it in auctions, bidding hundreds of thousands of dollars to claim it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's just a penny. How valuable could it really be? Well, let's just say that underestimating this coin is like underestimating a diamond because it's small. The truth? The 1955 wheat penny isn't just rare. It's a masterpiece of imperfection, a coin born out of a flaw that turned into fortune. So, what exactly happened with the 1955 wheat penny that sent its value skyrocketing to nearly $1 million? It all comes down to a minting error, a mechanical misalignment during the striking process. The die, that's the metal stamp used to press the coin, shifted ever so slightly. This produced a coin where certain details were doubled or distorted, creating a visual anomaly that's impossible to ignore once you know what to look for. Collectors call it the double die effect, and it's the holy grail of errors in the numismatic world. The Denver Mint didn't catch it immediately, and by the time they did, thousands of coins had already been released into circulation. And here's the twist. Most of them disappeared into piggy banks, pockets, and old jars, meaning some could still be sitting quietly in your home right now. Can you imagine? A dusty coffee tin in your attic could contain a coin worth $988,000 today. It's the kind of story that keeps treasure hunters awake at night and keeps collectors scouring estate sales, flea markets, and family coin boxes with laser focus. And here's where it gets exciting. In today's market, rare error coins like the 1955 wheat penny are in massive demand. The ultra-wealthy and serious investors are pouring money into collectibles as alternative assets. Why? Because while stocks fluctuate and real estate slows, rare coins only go up in value. Let's pause for a second. Think about it. Somewhere out there, someone probably used a $988,000 penny to buy a stick of gum in 1955. That's not just ironic. It's poetic. Makes you want to double-check your couch cushions, doesn't it? But jokes aside, this isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. Because the people who find these coins aren't just lucky. They're looking. They're paying attention to details that most others ignore. The last known sale of a top-graded 1955 D wheat penny shook the collector's market. Auction houses witnessed intense bidding wars, with private buyers offering sums close to the $1 million mark. Experts describe this penny as one of the most desirable American mint errors ever discovered. Collectors see it as a piece of living history, a moment when the machinery of progress created something wonderfully imperfect. Investors, on the other hand, see it as a tangible asset, something more stable and emotional than digital numbers on a screen. And let's face it, owning such a coin isn't just about wealth. It's about legacy. Imagine passing down something so rare and valuable that your grandchildren talk about it for generations. Now, here's the real question. Could you have one? The answer might surprise you. These coins often go unnoticed because people assume all wheat pennies look the same. But take a closer look at the D mint mark and the date. If you notice even the slightest doubling or distortion, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And here's where the urgency comes in. The demand for rare coins like this one is exploding. Major collectors and auction houses are aggressively buying, and prices have been climbing faster than ever before. What was once worth thousands is now worth nearly $1 million. And in another few years, it could be worth even more. So what are you waiting for? The difference between finding nothing and finding fortune is just one look. The 1955 D wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol, a reminder that wealth doesn't always come from where we expect it. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest corners of our lives, waiting for the right eyes to notice. So tonight, when you open that old coin jar, don't just see pennies, see possibilities. Because your story of abundance might begin with something as humble as a single, forgotten coin. If you enjoyed the story and want to discover more hidden fortunes in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe and join our community of rare coin enthusiasts. Because next week, we'll uncover another jaw-dropping story. A coin that turned an ordinary family into millionaires overnight. Imagine finding a small, worn copper penny in your change jar, the kind you might overlook and toss aside. But what if that same penny, just one coin, could be worth over $765,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny could completely change your financial destiny. Most people think million-dollar opportunities come from investments or real estate. But in the world of coin collecting, fortunes are hiding in plain sight, sometimes right in your pocket. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, stay with me, because this story is not just about a coin. It's about timing, rarity, and the powerful truth that ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. And if you've ever dreamed of turning your passion for collecting into real wealth, this coin might be your inspiration, or even your ticket to freedom. But wait, how did a simple penny, struck 70 years ago, become one of the most sought-after treasures in American history? Let's dive into a story that will make you look at every coin differently. Forever. The year was 1955. America was booming, cars were bigger, families were growing, and coins were still made of real metal, not modern alloys. Somewhere in the Philadelphia Mint, during a late-night production run, a mechanical misalignment occurred. The result? A rare and shocking minting error that produced one of the most legendary pennies ever, the 1955 double die wheat penny. But here's the twist. The no mint mark on this coin signifies it was struck in Philadelphia, and because of that, its authenticity is unquestionable. You see, the doubling on liberty and in God we trust is so dramatic, so unmistakable, that even without magnification, it practically jumps off the surface. The error was never meant to leave the mint, yet a few thousand slipped into circulation, and collectors have been hunting them ever since. Now, here's where things get wildly exciting. Today, pristine examples of this coin, especially those uncirculated, untouched by time, can command upwards of $765,000 in auctions. Imagine holding a penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini or a luxury house. Think about the stories that coin could tell, the decades it survived, and how many people have passed it by, never realizing they were holding a fortune in their hand. And yes, they're still out there, somewhere in drawers, piggy banks, and coin rolls, These treasures are waiting to be discovered. Makes you want to start checking your spare change right now, doesn't it? Go ahead, I'll wait. Pause, just kidding, but seriously, you might want to after this video. But here's the truth few talk about. These coins aren't just collectibles. They are tangible assets, high-demand investments with growing value. In the last decade, rare U.S. coins have consistently outperformed traditional investments. The 1955 wheat penny stands at the intersection of nostalgia, history, and financial opportunity, a trifecta that makes it irresistible to serious collectors and investors alike. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if mine isn't real? Excellent question. Counterfeits do exist, but the genuine 1955 no-mint mark double die is nearly impossible to replicate perfectly. The sharp doubling, the weight, the copper tone, all of these are identifiers. And once verified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a certified piece of American history and a potential six-figure asset. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Demand for these coins is skyrocketing. Every year, more collectors enter the market, and the supply? It only gets smaller. Coins are being locked away in private collections, sold at elite auctions, and passed through inheritance. That means each surviving 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny is becoming even rarer, and even more valuable. So if you ever wanted to be part of something timeless, something tangible, something that bridges the past and your financial future, this is your moment. Let's pause for a second and imagine this. You're holding that 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny in your hand. You feel the weight of history, the texture of copper, the quiet hum of possibility. This isn't just about money, it's about meaning. It's about finding value where others see none. It's about realizing that wealth often hides in simplicity. Collectors around the world are competing fiercely to secure this coin. Bidding wars erupt in auction halls. Private dealers whisper about newly surfaced examples. The 1955 wheat penny has become a status symbol, a sign of vision, patience, and discovery. And that's why it's not just worth $765,000. It's worth so much more in legacy. So, the next time you see an old penny, don't ignore it. Don't assume it's worthless, because somewhere one of those small copper coins might be your $1,000,000 miracle. And before you go, I'll leave you with this cliffhanger. If you think the 1955 wheat penny is valuable, wait until you hear about the 1943 copper penny, a coin that broke every record in coin collecting history. We'll uncover that story in the next episode. And trust me, you won't want to miss it.so. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and turn on the bell, because your next discovery might just be the one that changes everything. Remember, the world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who look closely. Imagine finding an ordinary-looking penny in your change jar, the kind you almost overlook. But what if that same copper coin, minted back in 1956, carried a hidden error worth nearly $954,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A 1956 wheat penny that could single-handedly change your financial destiny. Now, before you think this is just another coin story, stop. This isn't just about copper and metal. This is about opportunity, luck, and the wealth that hides in plain sight. Somewhere, someone right now might be holding a fortune and not even know it. And here's the twist. Many collectors call the 1956 wheat penny one of the sleeper giants of American coinage. A coin so underestimated that even seasoned collectors overlooked it for decades. But today, we're about to uncover why this humble penny has suddenly become one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world, so stay with me until the end. Because by the time this video is over, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify the hidden error, and why experts believe its value could skyrocket even further in the years ahead. And fair warning, after this video, you might never look at your loose change the same way again. Let's rewind to the Denver Mint, 1956. America was booming, Elvis was climbing the charts, and the wheat penny was in its final decade before the Lincoln Memorial design took over. But in that year, something fascinating happened. A minting error slipped through the tightest quality controls. Certain 1956 pennies came out with doubling errors, off-center strikes, and even repunched mint marks where the small d under the date was struck more than once. To the naked eye, it looks subtle, but under magnification, it's a completely different world. A tiny misalignment that transformed an everyday coin into a six-figure masterpiece. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Only a handful of these flawless, error-bearing coins exist in high-grade condition. And when collectors find them in pristine red luster, graded by PCGS or NGC, the bidding wars start. Auctions turn electric. Eyes widen. Wallets open. The record? A verified $954,000 sale for one of the cleanest error strikes ever discovered. You see, these coins don't just sell, they ignite frenzies. Because every collector knows that rarity drives value, and once these pieces hit private collections, they rarely ever return to the market. Now, pause for a second. Imagine you holding a coin like that. What would you do? Would you sell it, frame it, or keep it as a legacy piece for your family's wealth story? Don't laugh, people are doing exactly that. What was once pocket change has become a status symbol, a mark of financial intelligence, a connection to history and fortune. But here's the truth, not everyone will find one. And that's what makes this opportunity so thrilling. Because while most people are busy scrolling or spending, a few smart ones are searching, hunting for these hidden gems. And here's the secret, the 1956 D-Wheat penny is just one example. America's older coinage is filled with untapped wealth. From forgotten rolls in your basement to jars sitting in your grandparents' attic, treasures are quietly waiting to be uncovered. But time is not on your side. As collectors rush to secure high-grade specimens and investors drive up demand, each year fewer coins remain in circulation. This is the moment, the window of opportunity that separates the dreamers from the doers. So after this video, go check your collection. Look closely at every 1956 D-Wheat penny. Search for doubling around the mint mark. Check the details, the shine, the edges. Because one small error could mean the difference between a penny and a near $1 million discovery. Now here's a question for you. When that moment comes, and you realize you're holding a piece of American history worth almost $1 million, what will you feel first? Shock? Excitement? Gratitude? Or maybe destiny? Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about a coin. It's about recognizing opportunity when it knocks. It's about turning curiosity into wealth. The 1956 D-Wheat penny has already made headlines, and the next legendary discovery could have your name written all over it. So stay curious. Stay determined. And remember, the next time a penny slips through your fingers, look again. It might just be your ticket to financial freedom. And if you think this story ends here, think again. There's another penny out there, rarer than this one, with a mystery that's still unsolved, and it's already being called the Holy Grail of Lincoln cents. But that's a story for our next video. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and stay tuned, because your next great discovery might just be hiding in your own pocket. Imagine finding a small copper coin in your old change jar, a coin that looks like every other penny you've ever seen. But what if I told you that one little coin could be worth nearly $894,000? Yes, a single 1957 D-Wheat penny from Denver, the kind you might have once dropped on the floor without a second thought, could actually be a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. Now, before you dismiss this as just another coin story, let me ask you, what if your next handful of change could change your entire financial future? Sounds impossible? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why collectors are desperately hunting for this elusive coin, and how one small detail, invisible to most, turns an ordinary penny into a life-changing fortune. The 1957 D-Wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, of history preserved in metal, and of opportunity waiting to be discovered by those who know where to look. So, grab your coffee, and let's uncover the mystery, the error, and the unbelievable truth behind one of the most sought-after pennies in U.S. history. The story begins in Denver, 1957, a year when the U.S. Mint was churning out millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. To the average eye, every coin looked the same. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on one side and those proud wheat stalks on the back. But among those millions of coins, something extraordinary happened. A minting error so subtle, so rare, that even professional graders couldn't believe it at first. This wasn't your everyday misprint or doubling mistake. No, the 1957 D error involved a complex strike anomaly combined with a rare die clash. In simpler terms, the die used to stamp the coin struck improperly, leaving microscopic distortions and misplaced features. invisible unless you knew exactly where to look. Some of these rare pennies even show faint doubling on the date, while others display a mysterious die crack running across Lincoln's shoulder. And here's where things get exciting. Collectors today are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for verified error specimens in top condition. The highest graded 1957 D error penny, in pristine MS 67 condition, recently stunned the market, fetching an incredible $894,000 at auction. That's not a typo. One penny, nearly $900,000. And before you say, well, I'd never find one of those, think again. Many of these rare pennies are still out there, tucked away in old coin jars, dusty drawers, and family collections. Every day, new discoveries are made, not by professional numismatists, but by regular people who decided to take one more look at their pocket change. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The idea that a coin worth 1 cent could quietly wait decades before revealing itself as a six-figure gem. It's like the American dream, hidden but real if you know where to look. And before you go raiding your grandma's cookie jar for pennies, which, by the way, is something I fully encourage, remember this, even the most ordinary-looking coin could be the one. You just need the patience, and maybe a good magnifying glass. Or at least better eyesight than I had the first time I squinted at a coin under bad lighting. Now, let's talk about what this really means, not just for collectors but for you. The 1957 D wheat penny is more than an expensive coin. It represents value hidden in plain sight, a reminder that history and wealth often go hand in hand. Every coin tells a story of craftsmanship, of error, and of opportunity. Right now, the rare coin market is booming. Private collectors, investors, and even hedge funds are aggressively acquiring error coins because they've become symbols of tangible wealth, assets that appreciate in value year after year. As inflation grows and digital currencies fluctuate, physical collectibles like rare pennies are skyrocketing in demand. And the 1957 D is leading that charge. So, here's the truth. If you own a 1957 D wheat penny, or think you might, now is the time to get it appraised. Have it professionally graded, because the window of opportunity won't stay open forever. Once word spreads and more examples are found, the market could shift and values might stabilize. But right now, these coins are commanding record-breaking prices. And just imagine, you're holding a small copper coin in your hand, something that once bought a stick of gum, now powerful enough to buy a house. That's not just a story, that's a legacy. So, take action today. Go through your change. Check those old jars, that forgotten drawer, that coin book gathering dust in your attic. Because someone, somewhere, is going to find the next $894,000 wheat penny. And it might as well be you. If this video sparked your curiosity, subscribe for more deep dives into America's hidden coin treasures. Because here, we don't just talk about pennies. We uncover the million-dollar stories written in copper and silver. Your next fortune might already be in your pocket. Imagine this. You're sorting through an old jar of coins in your kitchen drawer, maybe something left behind by your parents or grandparents. You pick up a familiar copper penny. It's brown, a little worn. But what if I told you that one tiny detail could turn that penny into nearly $974,000 in your hands today? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's absolutely true. This isn't just any penny. It's the 1958 D wheat penny, a coin that's sending shockwaves through the collector's market because of a rare and almost mythical mint error that transformed an ordinary 1-cent piece into a treasure worth more than most luxury homes. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. When was the last time you really looked at your change? Not just tossed it aside, but actually examined it. Because right now, people across America are discovering that their old coins, forgotten in drawers and jars, are worth life-changing amounts of money. One man's spare change turned into his early retirement. Could you be next? Let's take a journey back to 1958, a time of optimism and transformation in America. The Denver Mint was producing millions of wheat pennies, the last year before the iconic Lincoln Memorial reverse design took over. But something happened that year. Something extraordinary. The handful of 1958 D pennies left the mint with a dramatic doubling on the obverse side. That's the front of the coin. Under magnification, you can see the doubling on "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date 1958. To the untrained eye, it might look like a smudge or a trick of light, but to coin collectors, it's a jackpot. Now here's where it gets exciting. Because so few of these coins exist, the demand for authentic 1958 D double die pennies has exploded. Auction houses have recorded mind-bending prices, one selling for over $974,000 to a private collector who simply had to have it. And here's the kicker: experts believe there could still be a few of these pennies out there in circulation. Yes, that means your coffee jar, your glove box, your old coin collection could be sitting on a fortune. So before you rush off to spend that change, pause for a second. What if one of those pennies could pay off your mortgage? You see, the power of this coin isn't just in its metal. It's in the story it carries. A story of rarity, of American craftsmanship, and of unimaginable opportunity. Now that you know the secret, the question is, what will you do with it? Because here's the truth. The coin market is booming, and high-grade, error coins like the 1958D are in massive demand. Collectors and investors are paying top dollar to own a piece of U.S. minting history, and they're not waiting around. If you find one of these coins, don't just throw it in a jar. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A verified mint error instantly multiplies the value. Even small imperfections like doubling on a single letter or a tiny shift in alignment can mean tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in your favor. But here's where the urgency kicks in. As more people become aware of these hidden treasures, the hunt intensifies. The market rewards those who act fast. And right now, interest in rare wheat pennies is skyrocketing. Every week, new collectors enter the scene, and the supply of authentic error coins is drying up. So the next time you find a 1958 D penny, don't dismiss it. Look closer. Inspect it carefully under good light, and if you see doubling, even slight, stop what you're doing and get it appraised. That simple act could change your financial destiny. And before we end, here's a thought. Some of the greatest fortunes in history weren't found in gold mines or stock markets. They were found in pockets, drawers, and dusty old jars. The difference between someone who finds it and someone who misses it. Awareness and action. So if you want to live that wealthy lifestyle, the kind where your money works for you and your passion for collecting turns into profit, start by paying attention to the details. Because the next legendary discovery, the next $974,000 miracle, could already be in your hands.